Welcome out to Lee Jordan Field as we're about to start game one of the doubleheader between your Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Lance Morris here with you for both of today's contests. Here's Hills, first pitch swinging. That's hit down the right field line for a base hit. Hill's going to round first, heads for second. Vansoff fumbles with it a little bit. He's going to round second, heads for third. And luckily, Cody White was there to back up that throw. Otherwise, we could have saw Hill come around to score. So that's going to be a first pitch triple for Darius Hill to start off today's contest. That brings up Trey Dawson. Nobody down, a runner at third, and Darius Hill. After Trey Dawson, it'll be Jonathan Washam coming to the plate for the Oilers. Here's the first pitch to Dawson. Misses low for ball one. On the mound today for your Chinooks, Cody White. Plays at Davidson. The 1-0. Outside ball two, 2-0 to Dawson. Dawson, the freshman from LSU, hitting .289 on the summer. 6 doubles, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. The 2-0. Hit on the ground towards short. Runner's going to come in to score, but they go out over to first to get out Dawson. So Dawson drives in Hill on the grounder to short. Oilers take the 1-0 lead. So Jonathan Washam up to the plate with one down. First pitch to him up a little high for ball one. The 1-0. Catches that corner for a called strike one, evens up the count. Washam leading the ABL in average. He's hitting .357. The 1-1. Outside ball two. 2-1 to Washam. He's getting the start over at first base. The 2-1. That misses again for ball three. 3-1. The 3-1. That's hit into left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Washam's going to take a hard round of first. That's where he'll stay. So Washam on with a single with one down. That brings up Seth DeWitt.
Number 23, the designated hitter, Seth DeWitt.
Seth DeWitt coming up to the plate for the Oilers. One down, a runner at first, and Jonathan Washam. Oilers jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Here's the first pitch to DeWitt. Taken for a called strike one. DeWitt hitting .257 on the summer. Here's the 0-1. Hit on the ground, left side. Fielded by Millard, flips it over to second for one. Not in time over at first as that was beat out by DeWitt. So Washam out at second. DeWitt safe at first on the fielder's choice. Brings Brody Wofford up to the plate with two down, top of the first inning. That's laced off the glove of Whisker. Stays with it, though. They'll just try to go to second for the out. So we'll call that an infield single for Brody Wofford.
Number 6, the second baseman, Jeffrey Pepper.
So Jeffrey Chapron comes up to the plate with 2 down, runners at first and second. Here's the first pitch to Chapron. Down and outside, ball 1. Defensively for the Chinooks, pretty much the same defensive alignment as we had in Friday's doubleheader. Alex Masado's in left, Zach Sanford in center with Hunter Vansaw in right. The 1-0. Catches the corner for a called strike 1. 1-1 the count to Chapron. In the infield, Tim Millard is down at third. Aaron Shackelford at short. Will Bass at second. Ethan Whisker at first with Spencer Lininger doing the catching. The 1-1. Down low for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Jeffrey Chapron, the sophomore from southeastern Illinois. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Count evens back up. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chapron. The 2-2. Hit out right side. That goes out of play. Count remains 2-2 to Jeffrey Chapron, the Oilers' second baseman. DeWitt at second, Wofford at first for the Oilers. The 2-2. That'll miss for ball 3. That'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jeffrey Chapron. 2 down top of the first inning. Oilers up 1-0 on the Chinooks. The 3-2. That's laced right at Will Bass. He'll make the grab, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. So the Oilers will leave a couple on, but they do bring 1 in to score. They take the 1-0 lead as we head into the Chinook half of the first here in Chugiak. And welcome back. We're about to start the bottom of the first inning here at the Loretta French Sports Complex. Chinooks down 1-0 as we enter the Chinook half of the first. First pitch to Will Bass will miss down and outside for ball one. After Bass, it'll be Hunter Vansaw and Tim Millard coming to the plate. One is in there for a called strike one, evens up the count at 1-1. One the count to Bass. Here's the 1-1. Outside ball two. 2-1 the count to Bass. Here's the 2-1. Hit left side, that'll go out of play. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes to the second baseman, Will Bass. Bass hitting .259 on the summer, tied for the team lead in doubles with 9. 2-2 is going to miss outside for ball 3. That makes it a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Will Bass. The 3-2. That'll miss low, ball 4. Bass doing his best impression of his game against the Bucks on Thursday, and he'll start off this contest with a walk. Bass draws the walk. Hunter Vansaw comes up to the plate, nobody down, bottom of the first inning. Chinooks trail 1-0. First pitch to Hunter Vansaw. In there for a called strike one. Vansaw has struggled a little bit as of late. Did have a single his last at bat in the last game against the Oilers as they check on Bass at first. He's back in time. Vansaw still leads the Chinooks in hitting. Its average has dropped a little bit. It's now .309. I'll check on Bass again. He's back in time. Bass again gets his lead over at first. The 0-1 to Vansaw. Outside ball number 1. Along with that .309 average, Vansaw with 5 doubles, 3 triples. His 1 home run was a grand slam. He'll hit that back up the middle, fielded by Chopra, and flips it over for 1. And back over to first in time. And they'll turn the 4-6-3 double play. Two down, bottom of the first inning. That brings up Tim Millard. It's Tim Millard up to the plate. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Chinooks trailing 1-0 to the Oilers. On the mound for the Oilers, it's a Cody versus Cody battle. It's Cody Wood is the starting pitcher for the Oilers. First pitch to Millard. Inside, ball 1. Defensively for the Oilers, Brody Wofford's in left field. Darius Hill in center. Daniel Speakey is in right field. The 1-0. Down and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Millard. In the infield for the Oilers, Alex Seifert down at third base. Trey Dawson's at short. Jeffrey Chopper on at second. Jonathan Washam's at first. Jared Huber doing the catching. The 2-0. Swing and a miss there from Millard. Makes the count 2-1. The 2-1. Misses for ball 3. 3-1 the count to the redshirt sophomore from Dallas Baptist. With the 3-1. Swings and misses at that. That'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Tim Millard. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Chinooks trail by a score of 1-0. The 3-2. That's hit nicely into left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Millard gets himself on with a 2-out single.
Now batting the third Chinooks, number 25, the first baseman, Ethan Whisker.
So Ethan Whisker up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Whisker. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Chopped on the ground, down towards third. Seifert will field it. He'll get that over to Washam at first in time for out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom of the first. Millard gets on with a 2-out single, but he'll be left stranded. After 1, Oilers have a 1-0 lead over your Chinooks. And welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field, starting the top of the second inning between the Oilers and the Chinooks. First pitch to Daniel Speak. He'll line out towards left field. Masato going over. He'll make the running grab for out number 1. So Speak flies out to left to start off the bottom of the second. Jared Huber comes up to the plate for the Oilers. Oilers have a 1-0 lead over the Chinooks. First pitch to Huber. Taken on the outer half for a called strike 1. After Huber, we'll see Alex Seifert come to the plate for the Oilers. The 0-1. Hit softly back towards Cody White. He'll run over to first, flip it over to Whisker for out number 2.
Number 26, the third baseman, Alex Seifert.
That brings Alex Seifert up to the plate with 2 down, top of the second inning. First pitch to him taken for a called strike one. The 0-1. In there once again for a called strike two. Seifert quickly falls behind 0-2 to Cody White. The 0-2. Hit on the ground towards first. Whisker will field it. Over to the bag himself for out number 3. So that'll do it for the top of the second. Just a 6-pitch inning for Cody White. So 1-2-3 inning. We'll see the Chinooks come back up to the plate here in just a moment. Chinooks trail 1-0. And welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field. Starting the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Aaron Shackelford to lead things off. First pitch to Shack. Taken for ball one. After Shack, it'll be Alex Masato and Spencer Lininger coming to the plate for your Chinooks. The 1-0. Just missing that time for ball two. Shack hitting .264 on the summer. Good for second on the team. Well, the 2-0. Down into the turf, ball three. 3-0 the count to Aaron Shackelford. Shack plays his ball at the Masters College. The 3-0. In there for called strike one. Count 3-1 to Aaron Shackelford. The 3-1. That's hit on the ground. That'll get past the diving Trey Dawson as that sneaks into center field for a base hit. Shack's on with his first hit of the day to start the bottom of the second.
Batting for your Chinooks, number 17, the left fielder, Alex Masada.
Alex Masato coming up to the plate, bottom of the second inning. Chinooks down 1-0. Aaron Shackelford, the runner at first, as Alex Masato steps into that right-handed batter's box. First pitch to Masato. Swinging and missing for strike one. Masato hitting 115 on the summer, but didn't become an everyday outfielder until early last week. The 0-1. Another swing and a miss, falls behind 0-2. Masato hit 276 at Tyler Junior College this past spring, had 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. The 0-2. That's going to miss for ball 1. One into the count to Alex Masato, the Chinook left fielder. As they'll check on Shackelford at first, he dives back safely. The 1-2. Upstairs, ball 2. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alex Masato, originally from Long Island, New York. Count even at 2-2. The 2-2. Chopped on the ground, left side, that'll go foul. Count remains 2-2 to Alex Masato. Aaron Shackelford gets his lead off at first. The 2-2. Just barely fouled back by Masato. Stays alive at 2-2. Two and two the count. Here's the 2-2. Outside ball 3 as Huber checks on Shaq at first again. He's still back in time. Three balls, 2 strikes to Alex Masato. Full count. As Cody Wood will step off and take a moment on the mound. The 3-2. That's hit into left field. That's going to drop in front of Brody Wofford for a base hit. So Masato and Shackelford each on with singles. That brings Spencer Leninger up to the plate. Nobody down, bottom of the second. Spencer getting in the left-handed batter's box. The switch hitter will bat lefty against the right-handed Cody Wood. He's looking to lay down the sacrifice bunt. We'll pull that back for ball 1. And they're going to throw back to Masato. So now Shackelford tries to advance as they will get him out at third instead. So Masato, it goes safely, but then they throw out Shackelford. So Shaq now becomes the first out of the inning. Still winning on the first pitch to Spencer Lininger. He'll hit that one just past the glove of Wood, fielded by Chopron. Gets that over to first in time. Route number 2. So Spencer will ground out to second. That does allow Masato to advance to third. So Masato's at third. 2 down. Bottom of the second inning, Chinooks trail 1-0 as Preston White steps up to the plate. He's the DH for today's game, just as he was in Friday's doubleheader. First pitch to him in there called strike 1. Preston still looking for his first hit this summer. He's 0 for his first 5 plate appearances. Next one's in there again for a called strike 2. So White falls behind 0-2 to Cody Wood. The 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Into the count to Cody White. Places ball at Birmingham Southern College. The 1-2. That's hit on the ground. Chopron will field it. Gets it over to first in time for out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom of the second. Chinooks unable to bring any runs in. They trail the Oilers by a score of 1-0 heading into the third. And welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field. As we're going to start the top of the third inning, Chinooks trail the Oilers by a score of 1-0. First pitch to Darius Hill. Takes that down and in for ball 1. The 1-0. That one's hit out towards left field. Masato going over. And he'll make the grab for out number 1.
Number 24, the shortstop, Trey Dawson.
That brings Trey Dawson up to the plate with 1 down, top of the third inning. After Dawson, it'll be Jonathan Washam coming up for the Oilers. First pitch to Dawson. Just inside, ball 1. And Dawson grounded out to short his first time up, but that brought in Darius Hill. representing the only run so far in today's contest. The 1-0 in there called strike one. 1-1 the count to Dawson. The 1-1 fouled back into the fence. Makes the count 1-2. 1-2 the count to the shortstop, Trey Dawson. The 1-2. Just outside, ball two. Two and two the count to Dawson. One down top of the third. The 2-2. Hit on the ground. Shaq somehow gets that ball, but he will trip right before he goes to make the transition to throw. So Dawson's in there with an infield single.
Number 4, the first baseman is Jonathan Washington.
So Jonathan Washington comes up to the plate, one down, top of the third. Oilers up 1-0. Checks on Dawson over first. He's back in time. Dawson, a good stealer when he's on the move. Attempted 4 steals, was successful on 3 of them. As that next one will miss down into the turf. Nice stop by Spencer behind the dish. Washam had a single his first time up, but was then out on the fielder's choice. The 1-0. In there for strike one. Count even at 1-1 to Washam. The 1-1. In there for strike two. One and two the count to Jonathan Washam. As White will try and throw over to Whisker, but it gets away from him. So Dawson advances the second on the throwing error by White. Count remains 1-2 to Washam, the junior from Louisiana Tech. The 1-2. And that's smacked out towards left field. Masato going over. Doesn't get to that in time. That's going to bounce off the wall. They're going to send home Dawson. And they'll cut the throw off to second. So Washam's in there with a double. An RBI double at that puts the Oilers up 2-0 over the Chinooks.
Number 23, the designated hitter, set the whip.
So set the wit up to the plate with 1 out. Top of the third. First pitch to DeWitt down outside, ball 1. DeWitt hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. The 1-0. That's hit out towards left field. That'll be in the gap for a hit. They're going to send home Washam The throw, not in time. So Washington slides in there safely. Second straight RBI double from the Oilers. This time comes off the bat of Seth DeWitt. That puts the Oilers up by a score of 3-0.
Number 12, the left fielder, Brody Walter.
Bree Wofford now up to the plate. One down, top of the third. Oilers up 3-0. First pitch to Wofford. Inside, ball one. Wofford had a single his first time up. The 1-0. That's hit left side out of play.
And that's a ball sponsored by Edward Jones Financial Investments in Gavin Reed.
Brody Wofford hitting .242 on the summer. The 1-1. Down and in, ball two. Makes the count 2-1 to Wofford. The left fielder for the Oilers plays at LSU. Two one misses low for ball three. 3-1 now to Wofford. DeWitt, the runner at second for the Oilers, as they have a 3-0 lead. The 3-1. And that's hit out towards right field. Levansall will be able to bring that in for out number two.
Number 6, the second baseman, Jeffrey Chapron.
Jeffrey Chopron up to the plate, two down. Top of the third inning, Chinooks trailing 3-0 to the Oilers. First pitch to Chopron will miss for ball one. Chopron lined out to Will Bass back in inning number one. The 1-0. Down and outside, ball two. The 2-0. That's hit on the ground again at Will Bass. Bass has enough time to field it. Gets it over to first in time for out number three. So that'll do it for the top of the third, but not before the Oilers put 2 runs on the board on the strength of a couple RBI doubles. They have a 3-0 lead over your Chinooks. Welcome back to Lee Jordan Field as we're starting the bottom of the third inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Zach Sanford will lead things off for the Chinooks. First pitch to him. Down and outside, ball one. After Sanford, it'll be back to the top of the order for Will Bass and Hunter Vansaw. The 1-0. Down into the turf, ball two. Sanford hitting .212 on the summer. Had a double at the end of game two of the doubleheader and then came into scoring a passed ball. The 2-0. Hit on the ground towards second. Fielded by Chopron. Gets it over to first just in time for out number one.
At the plate, clearing Chinooks number 6, the second baseman Will Bass.
One down, bottom of the third. Will Bass coming up to the plate. Chinooks trail the Oilers by a score of 3-0. First pitch to Bass. Down and outside, ball one. Bass drew a walk his first time up, but was then out on a double play ball. The 1-0 hit over towards second. Chopper on fields it once again. Gets it over to Washman first in time for out number two. Getting back to the second inning, the last 4 outs have all been 4-3 putouts. So funny how that works. That brings Hunter Vansaw up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the third. Chinooks trailing 3-0. Doubleheader once again, so these games will go 7 innings unless extras are needed. As that's fouled back and hit towards us. Owen won the count. Vansaw, here's the 0-1. Just missing for ball one. Vansaw hit into the double play his first time up. The 1-1. Down and in, ball two. 2-1 to Vansaw, 2 down, bottom of the third. To Millard awaiting on deck. The 2-1. On the ground. What do you know it? Right to Jeffrey Chopron. Gets it over to first in time for the out. So 5 straight grounders to second base for the Chinooks. They'll go down 1, 2, 3. After 3 innings here in Chugach, Chinooks trail the Oilers by a score of 3-0. Back we are to start the top of the fourth inning here at the Loretta French Sports Complex. First pitch to Daniel Speak. Inside, ball one. After Speak, it'll be catcher Jared Huber and third baseman Alex Seifert coming up for the Oilers. The 1-0. Misses a little low ball, too. Speak flew out to left his first time up. The 2-0. Just inside, ball three. 3-0 the count to Daniel Speak. The 3-0. In there called strike one. Count 3 balls, 1 strike to the sophomore from Florida Tech. The 3-1. In there once again for a called strike two. That'll make a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss as Speak goes chasing. First strikeout of the day for either pitcher. First one today for Cody White. One down, top of the fourth inning. Chinooks trailing the Oilers by a score of 3-0. Jared Huber, the Oiler catcher, now comes up to the plate. First pitch to him. Down and outside, ball one. Huber grounded out back to the pitcher. His first time up, that was in the second inning. The 1-0. Hit on the ground towards first. Ethan Whisker fields it. Takes it over to first himself for out number 2.
Number 26, the third baseman, Alex Seifert.
2 down, top of the fourth inning. Chinooks trailing 3-0. Alex Seifert up to the plate. First pitch to him, taken for a called strike one. Seifert grounded out to Ethan Whisker over at first, his first time up. The 0-1. Down into the turf for ball one. 1-1 the count to Seifert, the junior from Jacksonville University. The 1-1. Down and in, ball two. The 2-1. That's fouled back as Seifert's late that time. Count all even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Seifert goes chasing as well. So that'll do it for the top of the fourth as Cody White gets his second strikeout of the day. Chinooks still trail the Oilers by a score of 3-0 as we enter the bottom of the fourth here in Chugiak. And welcome back to downtown Chugiak as we're about to start the bottom of the fourth inning here. It'll be Tim Millard leading things off. First pitch to him in there called strike one. After Millard, it'll be Ethan Whisker and Aaron Shackelford coming to the plate. The 0-1. In there called strike two. So Millard falls behind 0-2. Millard had a base hit his first time up. That was back in the first inning. The 0-2. Outside for ball one. Millard came into today's game hitting .250 on the summer. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Millard will go down on strikes. He's out number one here in the bottom of the fourth.
At the plate, for your Chinooks, number 25, the first baseman, Ethan Whisker.
Ethan Whisker up to the plate, one down, bottom of the fourth. Chinooks trailing the Oilers 3-0. First pitch to Whisker. Hit on the ground towards short. Dawson will field it. Gets that over to Washam just in time for out number two.
Now batting, number 8, your shortstop.
Two down, bottom of the fourth inning. That brings Aaron Shackelford up to the plate. First pitch to Aaron Shackelford. Down and outside, ball one. Shaq had a single his first time up. That was back in the second inning. The 1-0. And that one's hit foul left side. Count evened up 1-1 to Shackelford. The 1-1. That'll miss down and outside, ball two. The 2-1. That's it on the ground towards short. Dawson will field it. Gets it over to first in time for out number three.
We have reached the top of the fifth inning. The score.
So that'll do it for the bottom of the fourth as the Chinooks go down in order once again. And through four, Chinooks trail the Oilers by a score of 3-0. Darius Hill up to start the top of the fifth. He'll be first pitch swinging, and that's caught on a slide by Hunter Vansaw for out number one.
Number 24, the shortstop, Trey Dawson.
One down, top of the fifth inning. Chinooks trail the Oilers by a 3-0 score. First pitch to Trey Dawson taken for ball one. The 1-0. And they're called strike one. Count evened up at 1-1 to Trey Dawson. The 1-1. That's hit on the line. Shackelford gets in front of it, stops it, throws it. Gets it over to Whisker first in time for out number two. Solid defensive play there by Aaron Shackelford for out number two.
Number 4, the first baseman, Jonathan Washer.
That brings Jonathan Washam up to the plate. Two down here in the top of the fifth. First pitch to him taken outside for a called strike one. Washam 2 for 2 today with a single and a double, as Washam calls time right before White starts his delivery. The 0-1. In there once again for a called strike two. The 0-2. Swing and a miss as Washam is thrown off on that off-speed pitch from Cody White. So that'll do it for the top of the fifth. Chinooks still trail by a score of 3-0. Welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field. It's about to start the bottom of the fifth inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Chinooks trailing the Oilers 3-0. Alex Masato will lead things off for the Chinooks. After him, Spencer Lininger and Preston White due to come up. Cody Woods still out on the hill for the Oilers. First pitch to Masato. In there for a called strike one. Masato had a single his first time up. The 0-1. Swing and a miss as Masato falls behind 0-2. The 0-2. Thinks about it, does not go around for ball one. One to the count to Alex Masato. Masato played at Tyler Junior College this past season. Was part of a team that won the national title. The 1-2. It's that out towards center field. It's going to drop in front of Darius Hill for his second hit of the day. So Masato's on with a pair of singles today.
Number 31, the catcher, Spencer Lettinger.
Spencer Lininger up to the plate. Nobody down, bottom of the fifth. First pitch to him. Outside, ball one. One another count to Spencer Lininger. Next one's going to miss outside for ball two. Spencer was at the College of San Mateo this past fall and spring as well. He had to redshirt after an injury. As they'll check on Masato at first, he's back in time. And Spencer made the decision to transfer to Feather River Community College this fall. The 2-0. Outside again, ball three. The 3-0 the count. Nobody down, bottom of the fifth. The 3-0. In there for the called strike one. The 3-1 the count to Spencer Lininger. As they check on Masato again at first, he's back in plenty of time. The 3-1. That's fouled back and out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by Friends of Dan Sadler.
And that makes it a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2. Up a little high for ball 4. Spencer will draw the walk. Just the second walk given up today by Wood. So this brings Preston White up to the plate. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. I would think they're going to stick with Wood since I haven't seen any action in their bullpen. So we thank you for joining us here on the Chinook Radio Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, currently Chinooks down 3-0. But they have runners at first and second with nobody down. It's Preston White coming up to the plate. Nobody down. Bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and second. Preston 0 for his first 6 as a hitter. Now they're going to check on Masato at second. He's back in time. So last time we saw the Chinooks in this scenario, we saw a sacrifice bunt shown but not laid down. See if that's the case now. And it is. Preston will lay it down the first base line as Washington will apply the tag to White for out number 1. So sacrifice bunt works perfectly for the Chinooks as each runner will advance a bag.
Coming to the plate, number 11, the center fielder, Zach Sanford.
So runners at second and third for Zach Sanford, with just one down after the sacrifice bunt from Preston White. First pitch to Sanford. Swing and a miss for strike 1. The West Virginia matchup here is Sanford goes to Glenville State in West Virginia, while Cody Wood pitches at West Virginia University. The 0-1. Up and outside, ball 1. Sanford his first time up, grounded out to second. One and one the count. The 1-1. Inside, ball 2. Two and one the count to Sanford. The 2-1. Hit out towards left field. Flat'll land right around the Chinooks bullpen as a couple guys had to actually get out of the way. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sanford. Runners at second and third. One down, bottom of the 5th. Chinooks trailing by a 3-0 score. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Sanford goes down on strikes.
Coming to the plate,
So he's out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Bass.
So Will Bass up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the 5th. Chinooks trail by a 3-0 score. First pitch to Bass. Up and outside, ball 1. Bass 0 for 1 today. Has a ground out and a walk. The 1-0. Misses low for ball 2. The 2-0. Low again, ball 3. 3-0 the count to Will Bass. Has already drawn 1 walk on Wood. So now it looks like Junior Gonzalez is getting loose in the Oiler bullpen. The 3-0. In there for a call to strike 1. Looked a little low for my taste. Three and one the count to Bass, the Chinook veteran. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4. So it takes one more pitch than it should have, but Bass will draw the walk. So now would be a pretty good time for Hunter Vansaw to bust out of his mini slump that he's in. Vansaw comes up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the 5th. Chinooks trailing 3-0. First pitch to Vansaw. Down into the turf for ball 1. Nice stop by Huber to keep it in front of him. Want to know the count to Vansaw with 2 down. The 1-0. Down and outside, ball 2. Two and 0 the count to Vansaw. Bases loaded, 2 down. The 2-0. That one's in there for a called strike 1. Here's the 2-1. That's chopped on the ground towards first. Washington will field it. Goes over the bag himself for the final out. So I'll do it for the bottom of the 5th through 5. Chinooks trail by a score of 3-0. Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field as we're about to start the top of the 6th inning here between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Oilers on top by a score of 3-0. It'll be Seth DeWitt leading things off for the Oilers. After him, Brody Wofford and Jeffrey Chopron. First pitch to DeWitt. Down low, ball 1. DeWitt 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI double his last time up. 1-0. On the left field line, that'll drop in for a base hit. DeWitt's going to round first, heads for second, and Masato briefly loses the ball along the wall, but still able to bring it in before DeWitt could advance past second. So second double today for DeWitt.
Number 12, the left fielder, Brody Wofford.
Rudy Wofford up to the plate, nobody down. Top of the sixth. First pitch to him. Popped up left side. That's going to go just out of play. Only on the count to Wofford. He's 1 for 2 today. The 0-1. Hit on the ground towards third. Lardo Field, it looks back at DeWitt. And goes over to first in time for out number 1.
Number 6, the second baseman, Jeffrey Chapman.
1 down, top of the 6th inning. Chinooks down 3-0. Jeffrey Chopron up to the plate with a runner at second. First pitch to Chopron. Checks his swing, he'll foul that one back. Chopron 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. The 0-1. Outside ball 1. We'll run him on the count to Chopron. The 1-1. Down and outside ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Chopron. Warriors have a runner at second and Seth DeWitt. The 2-1. Just missing for ball 3. Three and 1 the count to Chopron. 1 down, top of the 6th. The 3-1. Down into the turf for ball 4. So that'll be the first walk given up today by Cody White.
Number 28, the right fielder, Daniel Speak.
That brings Daniel Speak up to the plate for the Oilers. 1 down, top of the 6th. Runners at first and second. First pitch to him. Down low, ball 1. Speak on the day 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. The 1-0. Popped up left side, but that'll go out of play.
NFL ball sponsored by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Gavin Reed.
Count even 1-1 to Speak. The outfielder from Florida Tech. The 1-1. It's hit on the ground just past the diving Aaron Shackelford. So that'll get into left for a base hit. They're going to wave home DeWitt. DeWitt will come in to score, and they'll split the runners. So the Oilers take a 4-0 lead off an RBI single from Speak. Now pitching coach Chris Beck going to go have a word with White. We'll see if this does it for him. And it will be it for Cody White. So I have a new pitcher coming in for the Chinooks. I'll tell you who it is in just a moment. Chinooks trail by a score of 4-0. And welcome back to Lee Jordan Field, still in the top of the 6th inning. New pitcher on the hill for the Chinooks will be Nick Campy. First pitch. Didn't see a signal from Brad Polk, so I'm going to think that's a ball. As Spencer jumped up to throw, but did not throw, as Speak was on the move from first. The 1-0. Going to miss for ball 2. 2-0, the count to Huber. The 2-0. Catches the outside corner for a called strike 1. Huber 0 for 2 today with a pair of groundouts. The 2-1. In there again for a called strike 2. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Huber, the catcher from Texas State. The 2-2. Chops softly left side. Shackelford will field it. Gets that over to first in time. For out number 2, runners have to stay at their bags.
Number 46, the third baseman, Alex Seifert.
2 down top of the 6th. That'll bring up Alex Seifert to the plate. Runners at second and third. Oilers on top by a 4-0 score. First pitch to Seifert. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Couldn't handle the high heater. Seifert 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-1. Hit on the ground left side. That'll go foul. 0-2 the count to Alex Seifert, third baseman from Jacksonville University. The 0-2. Outside, ball one. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes to Seifert. 2 down, top of the 6th. The 1-2. Outside again, ball 2. 2-2. The count to Alex Seifert. The 2-2. Fouled right side, goes out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Seifert. The 2-2. Fouled again, out of play. Two. Outside, gets away from Spencer. That allows Chopron to come in to score. The 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4. Seifert will draw the walk.
Number 11, the center fielder Darius Hill.
KB will now check over at Seifert on first. He's back in time. Runners in the corners, 2 down for Darius Hill. First pitch to him will catch the outside corner for a called strike 1. Hill 1 for 3 so far. Had a triple to start off the game. The 0-1 will stay upstairs for ball 1. Count evened up 1-1 to Darius Hill. The 1-1. Hit hard on the ground right side, but it'll go foul. Count 1-2 to Darius Hill. The 1-2. Down and outside, ball 2. Count once again even, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hill. Oilers have runners at the corners. The 2-2. Hit softly, but that'll stay foul. Count remains 2-2 to Darius Hill. The 2-2. That's hit down the right field line. Just foul. Not too far off from the spot Hill hit it the first time when he had that triple. The 2-2. That one's hit out towards left center field. And Alex Posada will get under it for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the top of the 6th. That's not before the Oilers put a couple runs on the board. They now take a 5-0 lead. Welcome back to Lee Jordan Field. Chinooks trail by a score of 5-0 here to the Peninsula Oilers. Tim Millard will lead things off. After him, Ethan Whisker, Aaron Shackelford due up. First pitch to Tim Millard. Down into the turf, ball 1. New pitcher on the hill for the Oilers, Junior Ramirez, a recent joinee of the team. The 1-0. Fastball will stay inside for ball 2. The 2-0. Up high, ball 3. Whisker faced Ramirez in game 1 on Friday, and he was able to draw a walk. See if that same thing happens here. The 3-0. In there for a called strike 1. 3-1 the count to Millard. He's 1 for 2 on the day. His single came back in the first inning. The 3-1. And that'll miss for ball 4, so Tim will do the same thing against Junior Ramirez as he did last time, draws the walk. That brings Ethan Whisker up to the plate. Nobody down, bottom of the 6th. 7-inning games here as we're playing a couple of double headers. Well, just one doubleheader, a couple of games. First pitch to Ethan Whisker. Stays up high, ball 1. Whisker on the day 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. The 1-0. Outside ball 2 as they'll check on Millard at first. He's back in time. The 2-0. Taken for a called strike 1. 2-1 the count to Whisker. Whiskers from Clio, Michigan, plays his ball at Hillsdale College. The 2-1. This is low ball 3. Three and one the count to Whisker. Chinook first baseman. The 3-1. Popped up right side, but that'll go foul.
Foul ball sponsored by Princess Dan Sadler.
3-2 the count to Ethan Whisker. It's all filled up. Nobody down, bottom of the 6th. Tim Millard, the runner at first. The 3-2. That's it hard on the ground towards short. Goes over to second for 1. Back over to first in time. 6-4-3 double play.
At the plate now for your Chinooks, number 8, the shortstop, Aaron Shackelford.
Two down, bottom of the 6th. Aaron Shackelford up to the plate. First pitch to him. Right down the middle for strike 1. Jack 1 for 2, had a single back in the 2nd. The 0-1. Upstairs ball 1. 1-1 the count. Jack came into today's game hitting .264, 6 doubles, 3 triples. The 1-1. That's foul back, and there goes the camera. Thanks, Shaq. And at least Shaq didn't break the camera. That's always, a good thing. He'll hit that one out towards center field, so makes good for making our camera go down as he's in there with a single.
Up to bat for the Chinooks, number 17, the left fielder, Alex Masada.
So 1-2 2 was the count for Shackelford when he hit that in to center field. That brings up Alex Masato with 2 down. Masato a perfect 2 for 2 on the day with a couple singles. First pitch to him. Taken for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Inside for ball 1 as they'll check on Shaq at first. He's back in time. One him on the count to Alex Masato, Chinook left fielder. The 1-1. Hit on the ground. That'll be fielded by Dawson. Flips it over to second. And they will get out Shaq. So that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th. Chinooks still down by a score of 5-0. Welcome back to downtown Chugiak. Let's start at the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Trey Dawson in there for a called strike 1. After Trey Dawson, it'll be Jonathan Washam and Seth DeWitt coming up for the Oilers. Yoan is fouled softly. That'll get out of play. Oh, 2 the count to Dawson. The 0-2. Fouls that one back. Looks like that one came back and hit home plate umpire Brad Polk. Count remains 0-2 to Dawson. The 0-2. Outside ball 1. Nick Campy still on the hill for your Chinooks, came in the middle of the 6th inning. The 1-2. That one's lofted out towards left field. Alex Masato will get under it for out number 1.
Number 4, the first baseman, Jonathan Washam.
One down, top of the 7th inning. Shucks down 5-0. Jonathan Washam now up to the plate. First pitch to Washam. Inside ball 1. Washington 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. That one will be fouled back. Count evened up 1-1 to Washington. Plays at Louisiana Tech. The 1-1. That's hit on the ground towards second. Bass will field it. Gets over to Whisker at first in time for out number 2.
Number 12, the left fielder, Cody Wolford. Make that number 23, the designated hitter, Seth DeWitt.
So that'll bring Seth DeWitt up to the plate, 2 down, top of the 7th. 7-inning games here because of the doubleheader. First pitch to DeWitt. In there, called strike 1. DeWitt also 2 for 3, just as Washington is, but he's on with a couple doubles. One of them was an RBI double. The 0-1. Catches the corner for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count to DeWitt. Places the ball at Jacksonville University's teammates with Alex Seifert. The 0-2. Down and outside, ball 1. One and 2 the count to DeWitt. The 1-2. Upstairs, ball 2. Two and 2 the count to DeWitt, the DH. The 2-2. That's hit out towards center field. But Zach Sanford comes in to make the grab. So he'll set down DeWitt. That'll do it for the top of the 7th as the Oilers go down 1-2-3. Chinooks still trail by a score of 5-0 as we enter the bottom of the 7th. And welcome back to Lee Jordan Field as we're starting the bottom of the 7th. First person up is Spencer Lininger. He'll take ball 1 outside. Junior Ramirez still on the hill for the Oilers. The 1-0. Catches the inside corner, called strike 1. After Spencer, we'll see Preston White and Zach Sanford come to the plate. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count 1-2. Nobody down, bottom of the 7th. Again, 7-inning game since we're playing a doubleheader. Chinooks still trail by a 5-0 score. The 1-2. Just inside, ball 2. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Setzer came into today's game hitting 190. The 2-2. Lines that one foul.
And the ball sponsored by Friends of Dan Sedgwick.
Count remains even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Upstairs, ball 3. Now to make it a full count, 3-2. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So Linninger will draw the walk. Second time he's done that today. That brings Preston White up to the plate. Nobody down, bottom of the 7th. Preston 0 for his first 6 up at the plate. But he laid down a good sacrifice bunt his last time up. First pitch to Preston. Down and in, ball 1. The 1-0 will stay up high for ball 2. And now the Oilers will have a quick meeting on the mound to calm down Ramirez. Thank you for joining us here on the Chinook Radio Network. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, 7-inning games because of the doubleheader today. Chinooks currently down by a score of 5-0. It's a 2-0 count to Preston White. Usually we see him in a closing role out of the bullpen, but he's been the DH the last couple nights. Looks like Junior Ramirez is trying to fight off a bug or something out there. As you can maybe see him smacking around.
The famous GTF mound bees.
It's Ramirez attempting to get settled on the mound. The 2-0. In there called strike 1. Two and 1 the count to Preston White. At Birmingham Southern hit a little bit. He hit 158 in the 38 chances. The 2-1. In there called strike 2. Count again, even 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. That'll come in. Just barely hits Preston White, but enough that he gets to go down to first. So that puts runners at first and second for Zach Sanford.
Batting first, Chinooks number 11, the center fielder, Zach Sanford.
And honestly, you got to wonder how low the Oilers are on arms. Because they had played doubleheaders each of the last 2 days. One was against us, and they played a doubleheader against the Miners yesterday. First pitch to Zach Sanford. Down and outside, ball one. Now it looks like they're going to have someone go out and get loose. Looks like it's Wang Yishi. Next one's in there for a called strike one. 1-1 the count to Sanford. Still nobody down, bottom of the seventh. Runners at first and second. The 1-1. That one's popped straight up and foul ground. And Seifert will run out of room as that hit off of the top of the Chinook dugout. And the next time the Oilers will play a doubleheader will be on Tuesday, but they still have another game tomorrow against the Bucks. So Oilers play 3 games in a row against the Bucks before they finish with the Miners on Wednesday. The 1-2. That's fouled back. Almost got out of play. So the count still 1-2 to Zach Sanford, the outfielder from Glenville State. One and two the count as Will Bass waits on deck. The 1-2. Out of this low ball, too. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Sanford. Nobody down. Bottom of the seventh. The 2-2. Down in the turf, ball 3. Side makes it a full count, 3-2 to Sanford. Here's the 3-2. Anonymous low, ball 4. Third walk Ramirez has given up today. And now the Oilers will make a move to the bullpen. So that'll do it for Junior Ramirez. I think we'll have Wang Yishi coming into the game in just a moment. So we'll step aside while he gets warmed up. Chinooks trail 5-0. They have the bases loaded, nobody down, bottom of the seventh. And welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning. Still nobody down. Bases all loaded up for Will Bass. First pitch to Bass. Taken for strike one. And the new pitcher is Wong Ishii for the Oilers. One of two guys on the Oilers from Taiwan. The 0-1. Outside, ball one. 1-1 on the count to Bass. He's 0 for 1 today. He's already drawn a couple walks. Bass really has his walk game up as of late. And Bass will call for time. Going back the last couple games, he drew an intentional walk in game 2 against the Oilers, had 3 walks the game before, and then 4 straight in the game against the Bucks on Thursday. The 1-1. That's popped up, but that'll go out of play. Count now 1-2 to Will Bass. Nobody down. Bottom of the 7th, Chinooks trail 5-0. Here's the 1-2. Got him looking, called strike 3. Bass goes down looking. He's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Vansaw up to the plate, 1 down, bases remain loaded. Lininger on third. White at second, Sanford at first. And catcher Jared Huber will call for time. First to Vansaw. Down and outside, ball 1. Vansaw 0 for 3 so far. All 3 of them have been ground outs. The 1-0. Catches the corner, called strike 1. 1-1 the count to Vansaw. Vansaw will be heading to Mississippi State this coming fall. The 1-1. Down into the turf for ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Vansaw. The 2-1. That's hit out towards right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. 1 run will score, make that 2. And the throw goes wild. Vansaw tries to get himself into a rundown. So the tag will eventually be applied. And they were looking at Sanford the whole way, so he wasn't able to move after getting into a rundown. So there's now 2 down.
At the plate, for your Chinooks, number 24, the third baseman, Tim Millard.
So Tim Millard now to the plate. It's a 5-2 game. Chinooks still trail by 3. First pitch to Millard. Down low, ball 1. Millard 1 for 2 today. Drew a walk his last time up. The 1-0. Down and in, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Taken for strike 1 as they'll try picking off Sanford. He's back in time. Has a nice little smirk on his face as well. 2-1 the count to Millard. 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Chinooks down to their last out. The 2-1. That's it out towards right field. That'll drop out of play. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman, Tim Millard. Two and two, the count to Millard. The 2-2. Just inside, ball 3. Here's the 3-2. That'll miss down into the turf for ball 4. So Millard draws the walk. Whisker now represents the tying run. Sanford at third, Millard at first. So Whisker comes up to the plate. 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Has a chance to make this a totally new ball game. First pitch to Whisker. Taken for strike 1. A 1-1 the count to Whisker. Runners at the corners. The 0-1. Thinks about it. They'll say he did go around for strike 2. So Whisker now down in the count, 0-2, 2 down. Bottom of the 7th inning. Chinooks trail by a score of 5-2. The 0-2. That's it out towards right field. Sweet going back, makes a jumping up catch. And that will do it for this contest. Chinooks will fall by a score of 5-2.
We're going to take about a 30-minute break. We'll be back at 6 o'clock for the second game of this doubleheader.
So Chinooks fall on this one. Stay tuned for our post-game interview. We'll have that for you here in just a little bit on the Chinook Radio Network. So Chinooks fans, with the doubleheader going on, not much time in between both games, and everyone's out scrambling trying to get some food in their stomachs and all. So won't have a player of the game interview, but stay tuned. Game 2 will start in about 30 minutes or so once again, and there will be a new broadcast link for that, so stay tuned for that on the Chinook Radio Network.